For hole 1 of the spring major, you can use any driver of your choosing. With an APOC 6, you're going to use max right spin with your Kingmaker and about 5.5 top spin. Here I only did 5 top spin, but you can push it with 5.5. If you have a Thor's hammer, only push it 5.5. If you have a Thor's hammer 6, do not go above that, otherwise you risk going into the rough. Over adjust your shot with a 10% over adjustment and then push up to max. Take a normal shot, no overpower. At 375, I played this at 90% slider with a plus 20% over adjustment on my shot. So the second shot does play with a plus 20% elevation at the slider of your club. Here the tree was in my way, so I suggest you go a little bit longer by using 5.5 top spin on your drive, just so that the tree will not be in your way. For hole 2, you're going to be playing this at 30% slider of your club with a plus 20% elevation. Point 2 back with 3 left spin on your ball. You're going to aim your shot to the left center of the cup, so left of pin. Your yellow ring is going to be near the rough to the left. Once you aim your shot, then you are going to take 1 side spin away, so it leaves you with 2 side spin to the left with about 0.2 backspin. Now some of the wind is making the ball die short of the hole, so I would do just a little bit of backspin instead of the 0.2 and see how that works for you. And notice if your ball does stop short of the hole, take a screenshot of the wind direction and know for next time that you're going to need to do less backspin on that wind angle. For hole 3, we are going to be using a plus 10% over adjustment on our shot at max distance. With an APOC 5 or more, you're going to start at the plus 12 yard mark with 3 top spin and 4 right spin. If you have an extra mile 8, you're probably going to be going at the plus 16 yard mark, or however, basically at max with your EM8. Do 3 top spin and 4 right spin. Over adjust your shot with a plus 10% over adjustment at max distance, and then do slight baby curl to the right. We are looking for a consistent drive of around 349. This is why we have the yardage where we do our drive and how much top spin and side spin we use. We're just looking for a consistent drive. At 349, we know our slider of our sniper plays at 44%. At 347, it plays at 42%. So we're basically doing about 2% per yard of our sniper, plus or minus depending on the yardage you play. Here we're doing about 2 and a click bars of top spin with 5 left spin. Notice how far down the fairway or the rough he is. So you want to go down pretty far on the rough with about 2 and a click top spin and 5 left spin. And you want to favor the right side of the funnel so that your ball guides going to the right side of the cup. Adjust your shot with a minus 10% elevation at 44% slider at yardage 349. There are some yardages at the end of this clip. For hole 4, I'm playing this with a Power 1 wind ball. I'm going to be using 5.5 left spin and 5.5 top spin with my Goliath 8. I'm going to set up at the +2 yard mark, and I'm going to offset a square to the left. Here I don't think I offset enough, so we're still trying to tweak this shot, but it's going to play at max distance with a 10% over adjustment. Other people are playing this with a Kingmaker, aiming at the hole with a +15% over adjustment, so it's up to you on how you would like to attempt this shot. But here again, I'm playing at the +2 yard mark, 5.5 left, 5.5 top, offsetting about a square to the left, and playing it at max distance with a +10% elevation. For hole number 5, I'm playing to the right. You can find the left option on the 19th hole expert tournament page, and the link will be in the description below. Here we are going full top spin with 2 right spins, so bring the driver with the most top spin. I'm going to over adjust my shot with a 10% over adjustment, and then I'm going to use about 3 rings or so of overpower. It's a controlled overpower, and I'm using a little bit of right spin to go against the wind, and just in case I hit a great left. Here we're going to be playing with our thorn, and at 371 I know my shot is playing at mid distance with a +10% elevation. So do ±2% per yard from 371 to get your slider position. So again, at 371 we are playing this at mid distance with our thorn, with a +10% elevation. You're going to do a little bit of backspin to the hole and then adjust your shot. For hole 6, I wasn't sure if my APOC 5 could reach where I wanted to, so I used a Power 4. With an APOC 5, you do not need to use a Power 4, you can actually use a Kingmaker. You're going to do full top spin, full right spin, aim down the middle, adjust your shot with a +10% over adjustment, and then with a Power 4, if you have an APOC 6, if you want to use the Power 4, you can. You don't have to use overpower. Here I used a little too much. I didn't have to use that much overpower. You can do a controlled overpower with your APOC 5 with a Power 4. With a Kingmaker, same thing. You can do a controlled overpower to where your line is just floating above the white ring, and it will get you into a decent spot. We're looking for a drive into the 420s, and we know in the 420s you can reach with a Kingmaker just fine. So here I was just looking to see if there was an option to go over the rough bump, since the rough bump wasn't a great success last time, but here I decided to do the rough bump. So you're gonna go about 4 bars of top spin, and here I did 1 left spin, but your spin is going to vary depending where you're at on the fairway on your drive. So here I'm just trying to get the funnel or the ball guide to go to the hole, and then I over adjust my shot with a +30% elevation. So here I played it at max distance with a +30% over adjustment, so at least we know our second shot does play at a +30. If you don't have a driver that you think can give you the distance or a Power 4 ball, bring your Kata, and your Kata will play at a 30% elevation as well. I just wanted to show you another drive with your APOC 5 with a Kingmaker option. Here she did full top spin with about 3 bars of right spin, 3 to 4 bars of right spin, aiming down the middle and then over adjusting your shot with a +10% elevation. Here you can see her controlled overpower, where the arrow is just floating above the white line. And if you hit perfect, it's going to travel farther. So just know with a great left or a great right, it's not going to travel as far. So be prepared for that. But here she got into the 420s with her Kingmaker and an APOC 5 with a controlled overpower. As you can see by hitting perfect and a controlled overpower, she got into the 420 range. So here she played at max distance of her sniper with a plus 30% elevation. She hit great left and it came in great left, so we think it's actually a pretty good adjustment. So again, you're going to spin your ball to the hole. Your spin is going to vary, and it's going to be a little bit glitchy trying to find the right spot. But fiddle with it for a minute and then do a max adjustment with a plus 30% over adjustment. This is one way we are trying hole 7. There are other ways out there, and until we hit it, we're not going to post it, but once we do, we will post it on the 19th hole expert tournament page. You're going to play with the power 3 wind ball. You're going to do 3 topspin, and then your yellow ring is going to be near the sound bunker where your ball guide's going to be going to the hole. You're going to pull at a 1201 pull angle, and it's going to be mid distance with a plus 10% over adjustment. So it's basically playing 1 wind per ring, and then you're going to pull at a 1201 pull angle. I have yet to hit perfect on this hole, so I don't know what a perfect would have looked like, but it would have been pretty close in my opinion. If you go to the 19th hole expert tournament page, the document Wenzel's notes will have a different option with a Kingmaker, and they have hit that shot. So again, just look on the 19th hole expert tournament page. If you do not have an APOC 5 or greater on hole 8, it's going to be a very difficult drive. I think an EM8 can get you up there pretty far with a Zerk, and then you'll have an easy chip in for an Eagle. But here I did full topspin. I should not have done full topspin. I should have done about 5.5 topspin instead of full. I over-adjusted my shot with a plus 10% elevation, and I was aiming down the right-hand side of that sand bunker as my start point. Here I did about a half a ball of right curl, and then you're just going to try and hit perfect. So here I did go long, but the chip is a fairly easy chip, and I just want you to know if you do end up going long, it's not the end of the world, and it is a fairly easy rough wedge. So basically what you want to do is spin your ball like max top spin, max right spin, because I'm spinning against the wind. I'm trying to make the rings as small as possible so that a grate won't hurt me, and you want your ball guide going through the hole a substantial amount because it is a headwind. So here I did hit grate and it still did go in. Another option that we have with your APOC 5 or more is the hook. We think with an APOC 5 and 6 that they both are 20 rings, but we are unsure about the APOC 6. We have not attempted the APOC 6 yet. Here she did max right spin, and she probably could have gone max top spin since her wind was below 10 miles an hour. Your starting point is going to be to the right of that bush, and then you're going to count your 20 rings. For your curl, you're going to be just outside of the triangle, and you're going to do a full slice with full overpower. We think the higher the wind goes, the less right spin that you'll need. So I would say above 10 miles an hour, I would back off 1 or 2 right spin and see how you come in. But here it sets you up for a straight tailwind wedge shot. For hole 9, I'm playing it a little bit different. I want to get in min sniper range, but you can play it like everybody else where they are going to the long iron range. So here I'm doing max right spin with about 4 bars of top spin. Instead of the red ring being by the rough, I suggest doing the blue ring instead. It saves you a little bit and you can do a little bit more curl. But here I have the red ring by the rough. I over adjust my shot with a 10% over adjustment and I push up to max, or about 5 rings. My problem that I had on this shot was that I didn't do enough overpower. I thought I needed less overpower than what I did, but I should have gone full overpower. So if you have the red by the rough, do about a 3/4 of a ball of curl with full overpower. If you have the blue by the rough, you're going to do about a ball of curl as well with full overpower. So what I thought was going to be min sniper is actually max sniper. So the drive I do is actually setting me up for max sniper. So here I played at max distance of my sniper with a 25% over adjustment. What I believe the elevation actually is a plus 20% elevation instead of a 25. If you are in Goliath range or your long iron range, it's also going to play at a plus 20%. But if you roll down the hill and you get near the rough on the drive, it's going to play at a plus 15% elevation at the slider of your club. So here I played at max distance with a plus 25% elevation, but I should have played a plus 20% elevation. So again, hole 9 is going to play plus 20% elevation at the slider of your club, depending on if you are in sniper range or Goliath range. Any updates that we get, we will provide in the 19th hole expert tournament page, and the link will be in the description below. And remember guys, happy golfing and good luck this weekend.